Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy who can still look intimidating in leg warmers, Pete Schwaba.
Hey, welcome to Nightlight, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you here on this Friday evening in the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Getting a little cold out there, but hope you're having a great day wherever you're joining us from around the state of summer. Summer's only 5 months away, Conrad. You know that?
It feels like 8.
It's going to be a
or
while.
10.
Going to be a while. That is the voice of Conrad Krieger, who is working the board tonight, producing the show, and we are coming to you live as you heard from downtown Green Bay on a gorgeous, icy cold night. Here's why I say gorgeous. I love Friday nights. I don't care what the weather is like. It's a blast to finish up the work week, pop some popcorn, make an old fashioned, whatever it is you have to do, pop in a movie. Just start your weekend off right. And that's what we're going to do in just a few hours. But right now, we get to be on the air and talking about the things we love for the time being. Movies, TV, comedy, all of the above. Maybe some theater, some music. Got a great question tonight. And a lot of fun. We have some great guests coming up tonight. It's kind of an all-Wisconsin show, which is exciting. We're going to talk about a lot of the things happening in our state. Joining us at 5:35 after news, sports, and weather will be Ellie Bordeaux from Up North News. Ellie's been on the show before. She does such a great job writing for Up North News and keeping Wisconsinites informed. And there's a lot of positive news. That's what I love about Up North News. They just have great stories, and they kind of celebrate Wisconsin while also informing, which I just absolutely love. Love their format. Stuart Waddles will be here in hour number 2. Stuart covers news for Civic Media in Southeast Wisconsin. You also hear him on WGBW. He has got, I don't know, Con. I say Stuart has $1 million voice. I love his voice.
And that's true.
Yeah, and when they say like a news anchor you can trust, a face you can trust, Stuart has that too, but he's got that voice that like just, it's a no-nonsense news voice. And he's the same when he comes on the show. We love talking about Stuart. Last time we talked about Gordon Lightfoot. I don't know what Stuart is going to bring up tonight, but it will be fun. We'll have a good time. And then, ladies and gentlemen, hour number 3, we will see the lovely and talented and wonderfully intellectual, inspirational, insightful Terry BARR will be here for Bar Band Friday night for the segment named after her. How do you like that? We're going to talk music, and she is our Wisconsin music expert, and also happens to host a little show called Max Inc. Radio, which airs on WMDX Saturday nights from 6 to 9. You can also check it out on the website at civicmedia.us, where all the shows are cataloged in podcast form. Terry joins us every night, and we talk music, and we just have an absolute blast. So that is what we will do tonight. This is our last live show until next Wednesday, folks. We will be off for Martin Luther King Day, and I will be attending a funeral in the Milwaukee area as well. And I just want to give a shout out. A man passed away. His name is Pat Murphy. No relation to the Brewers manager, but this is the Pat Murphy I've known my whole life, who is my uncle and was an outstanding brother, big brother to my mom, a great son to my grandparents, outstanding father and grandfather, and a great brother-in-law to my dad. I remember my parents met at Marquette. They were part of the Young Democrats Club, and they met at Marquette. And my dad talks about my Uncle Pat walking around the campus, because my Uncle Pat had this group called the Rummies, and Pat was kind of this tall, handsome guy, and he was like a big man on campus, and my dad kind of looked up to him, so much so that once over the dinner table, my dad was telling a Pat Murphy story at Marquette, and he said you couldn't help but look at Pat Murphy and think, at which point my wife interjected, does he have a sister? Which brought the house down at the dinner table. It was a lot of fun. And it turns out Pat did have a sister, Amy, and my dad married her. And Pat was an outstanding uncle. He, when he retired, he raised his 2, I shouldn't say raised, but provided daycare to his grandkids, Olivia and Oscar, and was a lot of fun. Just a guy, always a guy you could have a cocktail with, share a story with. He loved to talk. He loved people. he loved Wisconsin. And Pat Murphy, you will be missed. I love you a lot, and I'm looking forward to being with your entire family in the next few days and celebrating your life. Godspeed. Conrad and I are both on the mend. Are you feeling better? You took a sick day. I didn't take a sick day, but this is my third day doing the show from home. I am amped up on aspirin, not aspirin because I can't take aspirin, but like Tylenol, cough medicine, and a lot of drugs. I'm not going to lie. I'm on a lot of drugs right now.
You know, if I could do the show from home, I would have done that night, but I can't really do that.
Yeah.
So
I understand that. I understand.
I took a day off, and that day I did wake up with like the worst headache ever. So good thing I took off. But today I'm feeling a little bit better. Still got the sniffles. This morning I didn't wake up with as bad of a headache. Still had a little one, but yeah.
Part of the reason I decided to do the show from home, aside from not feeling great, is that I can control when I turn the mic off. So if I cough, I can go quickly. I can't like signal you and go, Conrad, hit the button. I'm about to cough. So I have that advantage doing the show from home over the stream. But it is going around, folks. Katie Scullin had a big album launch party scheduled tonight in Madison that Terry BARR was going to be at. She had to cancel it because she's got whatever's going around. There is so much stuff. And it got me thinking, if I get to this in time, my program for not getting sick is pretty effective. And here's what I do. Con, I want you to think about what you do when you know you're getting sick and when you think about, what can I do to combat this? I take a sinus rinse to clear out my sinuses before I go to bed. I do zinc. I do echinacea. I pump the vitamin C, the vitamin D. I never forget to take my multivitamins as it is. And I drink a lot of water. And I try to go to bed at a decent hour. And when I do that, I typically do not get sick. But this time, I don't know. I think I waited too long. I think I kind of felt crummy and I waited a day. Because I've heard from a lot of people, if you put echinacea in your system right away, when you feel like you're getting sick, you won't get sick. And for the longest time, that worked for me. But you got to do it right away, like first symptom. What do you do?
I mean, when I felt bad, kind of Tuesday, I went to CVS and got some vitamin C, and I got some zinc, some lozenges, and some Tylenol, and kind of just see if that was gonna help. Today I've been feeling better, so maybe it's been working. But
okay, a lot of people out sick. It reminds me what you were just saying of all those things you were taking of the Saturday Night Live when they did the all drug Olympics, where steroids were legal, and Kevin Nealon's like announcing this guy, the Russian guy, is going to go for a clean and jerk, and he's so drugged out and boozed out, he pulls his arms off, and his arms stay on the weight, and he just comes up and they're like bleeding because he's on so many drugs. I guess it was something you had to see for yourself. Really. But anyway, you can share, folks. If you have a remedy that can't miss, I'd love to hear it, because this is cold and flu season. And outside of I did get my flu shot, but outside of that and getting rest, there's not a whole lot you can do. But if you have a remedy, I'd love to hear it. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Phone lines are always open here at Nite. We love to hear from you throughout the show, regardless of what we're talking about. And without further ado, Conrad, I think it's time to get to our Nite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
All right. What was your first musical purchase? We're opening it up a little bit here. It could be your first album. That's what I went for. Your first instrument, sheet music related. Could be a kazoo you got in a Happy Meal at McDonald's. What was your first music purchase? We have to celebrate music, because whether we're going to the gym or on a car ride, music is the soundtrack of our lives. So let's have fun with it tonight, folks. Tell me your first musical purchase. 855-752-4842. That is the text line. You can also text us on the app, which is very easy to use, Or if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or X, you can drop us a stream comment. My first musical purchase was the album Machine Head by Deep Purple. And I was talking, Patty Vasquez was on the show the other night. We're kind of from the same neighborhood, the Six Corners neighborhood in Chicago, just off the Kennedy Expressway. And this is back when a Sears had everything. They even had a music department. And I remember walking to Six Corners with some other kids in the neighborhood. And I was probably, I don't know, 5th grade. And I bought my own album with my own money, Deep Purple, Machine Head. Highway Star was on there. I think Smoke on the Water, I assume. It's been so long. I think I was only a Deep Purple fan for about 4 months. Money well spent. But that was my first musical purchase. What about you, Con?
So it was probably Let It Rock by Kevin Rudolph and Lil Wayne. And I think that was on my iPod Nano. Yeah, something like that.
Wow. What's it
and
called?
It was like $1. It was like $1, 9 cents, something like that.
Yeah.
Let It Rock.
Let It Rock. And who sang it?
It was Kevin Rudolph featuring Lil Wayne.
Okay.
And if we're talking about instruments, I believe the first one I did was saxophone.
Or as Homer Simpson would refer to it as the honk-a-ma-flute.
Yes.
Yeah.
The honk-a-ma-flute. I played that. I tried learning drums and never accomplished that. So I tried taking the lessons and I could never get it down. So, there's always, I just didn't have that musical talent.
I took piano lessons probably for about 6 weeks and just said, I don't have any need for this. But it's so true. Anybody who plays the piano never regrets learning how to play the piano. It was so stupid and short-sighted. And then I took up the guitar like in 8th grade. And a guy from Marinette, Bob Bro, who was on his way to college, gave me lessons one summer. He ended up being an opera singer. He's been on the show. Great guy. And I still play that occasionally. Like, I'm not great at it by any means, but that was probably my instrument if I had one. But yeah, and then I became a huge music collector. Like, I have probably $3,000 worth of songs on iTunes. I have no idea how to access them. I just go to, like, I paid all that money, and now I just listen to them on YouTube. I gotta get Chris Casper on this, and we gotta figure this out. But you gotta have music in your life, folks. So let us know, what was your first musical purchase? Phone lines are open, text line is open. You can text us on the stream, and let's have some music talk here tonight. And it is a bar band Friday night, so what better night to talk music than that is a bummer. Like Katie Scullin. She's so talented. We've had her on the show a couple times, and I think this is her first album in a couple, 2 or 3 years, maybe. She has to cancel the launch event. Like, that's sick, because you would not miss that for anything. She must be really sick. So feel better, Katie Scullin, and glad that Terry Barr could be with us here a little later in the show. News, sports, and weather coming up in about 10 minutes. And then we will talk to Ellie Bordeaux from Up North News. But when we come back, we're going to tell you what is going on around the state this weekend. That is coming up next. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network. Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nightlight. It is great to have you here on this Friday, folks. Let's talk about all the things in life we love. We started doing it, and we're going to do it. Tonight's question, by the way, one of the things we love is music, and we talk about music quite a bit here on Nightlight. And also, it is a bar band Friday night. Terry Barr will be here with groovy tunes as usual. But our question of the night is, what was your first music purchase? What was the first album, cassette, CD, musical instrument? How did music come into your life? What was your first musical purchase? Greg on the stream, Greg is really into this. He says, hey, just to let you guys know, I am Greg from Waukesha. Greg Wansnyder is Greg from Waukesha. Okay, so we thought that last night, right?
Yeah.
And he talked about this great festival happening in Waukesha this weekend, which sounds great. It's the Winter I think it's Janbury. I think Greg spelled his own event wrong, but I know what he meant. And there are fireworks tonight. So if you're in the Waukesha area, join Greg down at the Winter Janbury there in Waukesha. He says, by the way, I still haven't gotten the call from the Packers GM. Guess they don't want me to start kicking field goals yet. I could probably do better than McManus, even being blind. Well, you know what? He couldn't have heard, right? In that game, didn't McManus miss 2 field goals and an extra point?
3. Yeah. Well,
I mean, did he make? He must have made extra points, but ultimately that didn't matter. So yeah, Greg, you could have been the Packers kicker. Why not? Stacy Sue on the stream says, so sorry for your loss, Pete. Thank you, Stacy. That's very nice of you. In regard to my Uncle Pat Murphy, who passed away. Thank you for the nice words, Stacy. So let us know what your first music purchase was, though, folks. Was it an album, an instrument, whatever it was? Or what's the first album you owned? 45? Remember 45 records? I had a few of those. So be part of the show and let us know what your first musical purchase was. Con, you've got, there are some great movies opening, but why don't you give us a rundown? What are you talking about tomorrow on Make the Call?
I mean, well, Make the Call if you haven't heard. It's a sports show. You can hear it tomorrow at 7 a.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network. And as you can guess, just by being a sports show in Wisconsin, we talk a little bit about the Packers. What were, if we were the GM, Gray, Gunderson, Parker Olson, Jimmy Kuska, if we were, what would we do differently? What would we make changes in the offseason? And I mean, mainly we all said kind of just, it's a culture change, philosophy is just, towards the end of the year, they lost 5 in a row. It's just like, it feels like they didn't want to win.
So wait, an entire culture change.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
like, you think about the last 3 years, the Packers have lost as a 7 seed in the first round. The last 3 years. And they haven't done anything to change it. I mean, this year, I guess, it's different because of all the injuries we had. And I really think that if we didn't catch that injury bug, this defense would have been one of the top defenses in the league.
Right.
But we also do talk, Bucks. They're pretty bad right now. The Badgers just had 2 great, really fun wins. One being Michigan, which was 14-0.
That was
we
huge.
won. Yeah, and if you haven't heard, Dodgers got another star on their team. Kyle Tucker is now a Los Angeles Dodger, and I'll just say, we talk about the salary cap. Is it necessary?
Yes. If you want the league to be competitive,
Yeah, no.
like the NFL is, I mean, the NFL, it doesn't matter if you're in a market like Green Bay or Buffalo or LA or New York. I think that's got to change. I don't know how you guys feel, and I'm not the sports guy, but it just seems like a no-brainer to me.
I mean, we all of us agreed. It's just like it's just at this point, it's just getting like unfair, to these small market teams that don't have that money that LA does or New York. So it's like they want to not have small market teams in the league anymore.
Well, and it's for a small market team to compete. It's typically for what? A short window. It's got to be a perfect storm.
Yeah.
It's not fair. And it's the league. And I'm not saying the league, any professional sports league is better when there's parity to some degree. And then let it be about smarts and scouting and all that kind of stuff and coaching and who you bring in, but at least level the
Yeah.
playing field. My God.
And I mean, and make the call too tomorrow. You can also hear Mike Clemens and his great sport reporting. So yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. All right, check that out tomorrow morning. Stuart Waddles told me that the Bears are looking for a new stadium. If they get a dome stadium, and they will, regardless of where they go, it sounds like they're going to have a dome stadium.
Mhm.
That would leave only Green Bay with that outdoor venue. And the Rams are coming into Chicago this week, and everybody's like, "Oh, the Rams are going to." Chicago's too cold. They have the advantage. I'm like, first of all, not everybody on the Bears is from Chicago. Same with the Rams. I just have never subscribed to that. But I mean, it's probably a little bit of an advantage just because it's your home field. But Stewart is going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with the Bears Stadium. They're an NFC North team. And I think on the table was Kenosha as a possibility. And
Yeah, that's that's kind of funny.
I don't know that would be a good move for the Bears. I feel like there's probably a few Bears fans in Kenosha, but why would you? I mean, you'd think
That's
you would-
just so weird. Then you'd have the Bears and the Packers facing off in the same state. That's weird.
It's really weird. Less weird if they go to Indiana and they're in Northwest Indiana because those are basically Chicago suburbs. But Kenosha is not a suburb. There was thinking at one point. I remember my Milwaukee cousins going, eventually Chicago and Milwaukee will be one city. Well, that never really happened, but I think there is still some free land in there where it's not just all suburbs, which I kind of like. I like knowing when you're leaving. I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm in Wisconsin now, or okay, this
Yeah,
seems
right.
a little different, even though it's not like the Continental Divide. So you've got that. You've got some great movie openings this weekend. We'll get to those throughout the course of the show. Let us know what your first music purchase was, folks. Be part of the show. When we come back, Ellie Bordeaux from Up North News will be here. Right now, stay tuned for news, sports, and weather on Civic Media. It's B. Schwaba and Nightlight.
money. Can't hit the baseball, I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey. Yeah, this beach chain like money. This go all alone. I'm into that. I'm good to go. I'm diamond. You know I glow. Hey, so let's go.
Welcome back. This is Nightlight with Schwaba, broadcasting live statewide from beautiful downtown Green Bay on this cold January night. So we need to warm things up here, folks. We need to come together and talk about movies and TV and music. Our question of the night is, what was your first music purchase? Could be an album, an instrument. Somebody also just said first concert. That's fine too. Just please share your love of music with us here tonight on Nightlight. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, or text us on the app, or if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or X, drop us a stream comment, and we will make you part of the show. Always more fun when we do that. It is my pleasure now. I'm very excited to welcome this next guest back to Nightlight. She does great work at Up North News, and it is always fun when she joins me to talk about what is going on in our state. And it helps us take pride in our state as well. Ellie Bordeaux joins me now. Hi, Ellie. How are you?
Hi, Pete. I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me back on.
Always fun. And I love the work you do at Up North News. I was saying at the beginning of the show, it's informative, but it's also kind of upbeat. You have this, hey, it's fun to be in Wisconsin kind of attitude. And I don't know, I assume part of that is on purpose, but either way, it's there.
Yes. Yeah. We try to keep it upbeat for sure. I think a lot of the times news can be it can be a lot. It can be frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
It can be really stress inducing. And I do think, of course, it's important to share those headlines in our newsletter, but ultimately we also want to make it positive, and we want to share the good things happening in our state, or the unique things, or just the Wisconsin culture things, that people don't necessarily know and want to hear about. So we try and keep it a little bit more lighter, or more light, which is really nice. So
yeah, no, it's great. And I love what you guys do there. How are you tonight? The weekend is here. Do you work for Up North throughout the weekend, or do you take weekends off? How does that work?
no, I take the weekends off, which is really nice. It's kind of as a work as needed on the weekends kind of thing,
Sure.
like I think during election season, it'll be a lot more. I'll probably be working on the weekends a little bit more,
Right,
but
sure.
today, it's Happy Friday. I'm going into the weekend. It's all good. Yeah.
That's excellent. Hey, do you have a first music purchase that you remember? Album, concert, instrument, something like that?
Yeah, I was thinking about this while you were talking about it. I think my I know it wasn't one of the like iPod Nanos that were like this big, that you could like clip
Yeah.
onto your shirt or whatever. That was like my first music listening purchase.
Okay.
I think one of the first things I had on there was an album by the Black Eyed Peas. I
Oh,
don't remember
sweet.
what album it was, but I do remember for sure the Black Eyed Peas being on there, which it's a little bit nostalgic for me. It's cute, but that's
Oh,
like my
yeah.
first real like music memory
That's
purchase.
they're like, let's get it started, right? That was probably their
Yes.
okay. Yeah, that was a
Hmm.
great song. Like the Black
Yeah.
Eyed Peas.
Yeah. Me
Um,
too.
let's segue into something that it kind of plays along those lines. You did a recent post or article about all of the concerts that are coming to Wisconsin in 2026, and there's a great list. Some of them are Summerfest, some others. What did you make of that, and what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a lot of them. I think Summerfest is so much fun, and there's really no shortage of live music in Wisconsin, and there's something for everyone, which is really great.
Yeah.
And so we've got Rascal Flatts coming on on January 22nd, coming up pretty soon at
Yeah.
Pfizer, which is really great. I think one I'm most looking to is Journey. I'm thinking about going to that, which would be really
Yes.
cool. And AC/DC, which they're coming to Camp Randall, which will be really fun. Thinking about going to that one too, because my family is big. I might have talked about this last time on here actually, but my family is big AC/DC fans. We
Okay.
named our dog Angus after Angus Young.
Yes, I
Um,
remember that now. That's
yeah,
you have to go to
yes,
that show.
yeah. So I'm definitely thinking about it. I won't lie. I've heard some people. I know some people that saw them in Chicago somewhat recently, and they were kind of like, it was okay, you know.
Yeah.
Um, because it's like obviously they're not necessarily in their prime anymore, but I think it would still be fun for sure. So those are two of the main ones I'm really looking forward to. I'm not a huge country person, so like the Country Thunder, those kinds of things don't necessarily interest me that much, but I'm looking forward to Journey and AC/DC for sure.
Those are great. And you don't expect them to be like they were 40 years ago, but I mean,
Right.
like Bob Dylan, talk about an icon, and everybody I know that has seen him over the last couple of years just like is like, what did I just see? Like he's just not the
Yeah.
same guy at all. You're just paying to look at him in person, basically.
Absolutely. No, I think it's more of just went and saw Stevie Nicks when she was in Milwaukee a
Oh,
few years ago,
nice.
and it's one of those things. It's like you just want to be there, like you
Yeah,
just want to be in the presence of this legend. Like it's so cool. So that's kind of the same kind of thing with ACDC. It's like maybe it won't be the best performance in the world that I've ever seen, but it's just like check it off the bucket list kind of thing, you know?
definitely. How do you feel about like you probably don't remember Steve Perry, their lead singer, who was iconic and was a
Mhm.
outstanding lead singer. This guy they have now, Arnel Pita, I think is his name.
Mhm.
I remember Pineda, maybe. I remember seeing him on Oprah, and I think it was Neil Schon or one of those guys in Journey. They just wanted to keep playing. And they found
Yeah,
this guy singing karaoke in the Far East, and he was great. And he was singing Journey tunes at karaoke. So they auditioned him and he got the gig. Next thing you know, he's on Oprah. He's still with
right,
the band. This is like 15 years or something. And he's great. He's not Steve Perry, but man, what
right.
a home run they hit with him.
Oh my gosh, totally. I think no one's gonna compare to Steve Perry. I really don't think so, but it is like a close second, I would say. I mean, he's still
Yeah,
phenomenal, you know? So, like,
absolutely.
I think it's still worth seeing for sure, even if it's not Steve Perry. It's still Journey, you know?
Ellie Bordeaux is my guest, folks. Check out her work in Up North News. She does such a great job there. And some of the concerts we're talking about, you've also got Ed Sheeran, Nine Inch Nails, Jelly Roll, Post Malone, Keith Urban, Bob Dylan, and it just sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun shows coming to Wisconsin this year. Um, Ellie, let's talk dry January.
Let's.
Uh, it's funny because I haven't had a drink in like 3 years, but I
Yeah,
still love talking about drinking. I
yeah,
also still love talking about dry January because I think it's great. I think whatever people want to do, if they're responsible, it's outstanding.
totally.
And Wisconsinites, and I read this in your article, have a 10% more likeliness to drink than people from other states. On average, 10% more people drink here. What do you make of that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of how to phrase this correctly. I do think drinking is really a big Wisconsin thing. Like
Yeah.
I would when I went to school at UW-Madison, and I mean, we're college kids. There was a lot of drinking happening, and people from out of state would come and be like, "Oh wow." Like it really is like there would be like they didn't realize that there was a liquor store in our grocery stores. Like a lot of other states, you have to go to a separate liquor store, things like that, like just little things like that that are different. But I think dry January is, especially for Wisconsinites, like, I don't know, I think this dry January trend has really been gaining a lot of traction recently. And also, the rate of alcohol consumption in general for younger generations is going down, which is very
Right.
interesting to me. So, I think the dry January thing, I think it's great. If people want to partake in this, I think that's awesome. And there are so many. I just did an article about a bunch of places you can find mocktails throughout the state, and
Yeah.
it's so accessible for people that are sober for whatever reason they decide to be, or just doing dry January or whatever. It's so much more accessible now. I feel like they have like a mocktail menu, something that like you can still have a fun drink and like a wine glass or whatever and still feel included in that atmosphere and the bar atmosphere, the drinking atmosphere, but you don't have to drink.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it's funny, you talk about the Wisconsin drinking culture. When I was in college, I remember driving up to Madison because that was the party school. We
Mhm.
went to like DePaul was this Catholic school and they had its share of parties or whatever, but Madison was known for its Halloweens then. So
Right.
we're driving up, there's like 5 of us in a car, and this guy, Carl Hahn, was driving, and we were all packed in his car, and someone said state line, like we were passing into Wisconsin. He didn't mean it this way, but he said, "Someone want to pour me a beer?" While we were driving the car. Like,
Yeah.
it was like a psychosomatic thing or something, like, "We're in Wisconsin, I need a beer." even though we
Right.
were on the highway. I mean, it was insane. I don't think that happens as much anymore. At least I hope it doesn't.
No, I don't think so. But
Okay,
I know what
good.
you're saying. It is totally a like Wisconsin culture of just drinking beer, especially like it's old fashions, that too.
Yeah.
But there are some places on here when I was writing the story that do um non-alcoholic old fashions, which I'm like, that's awesome. There
Oh,
are
yeah.
NA beers that breweries are making, which I think is really cool. There are NA wines that different vineyards have, which I think is super awesome.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's something for everyone. It's really
I
cool.
agree. Do you have a cocktail of choice, one you prefer?
I am actually I it's I don't frequently have cocktails. I prefer beer,
Okay.
but if I am having a cocktail, it's going to be a brandy old fashioned sweet.
I knew you were gonna say that. That's an
Yeah.
excellent choice.
Yeah. It's
So
just my roots.
yeah, another thing I saw in Up North News recently, you guys did, I don't know if this was yours or not, I can't remember, but you did a focus on athletes from Wisconsin who are competing in the Winter Olympics. Are you familiar
Yeah.
with that at all, or can you speak to
Yeah,
that?
so yeah, we just recently we included that in our newsletter the other day, and I think it's really cool seeing like the different I don't know, I think it's really interesting to see the different ties that people have to Wisconsin in the Olympics, whether that's they went to school at UW-Madison or there I know there was an athlete from Marquette and I can't remember which event they were competing in, but like someone from Wisconsin is participating in luge, which that for me I was like, how do you get involved in luge? You know, like
Right.
which I think is so cool that that's an opportunity in Wisconsin. I think it sets up like such an inspiration for young athletes that are wanting to get to this level, which I think is so cool. And seeing role models from Wisconsin play at this huge stage and play for
Yeah.
our country, which is super cool.
Absolutely, and I remember back years ago when Dan Jansen was trying for a gold medal in speed skating, and he had come up short. He had won world championships, but every time he got to the Olympics, he just couldn't get it done. And
Yeah.
that moment, and I'm sure it's out there on YouTube if anybody wants to go see it. I've never been so invested in cheering for someone else and living vicariously and just going, God, I want him to win this gold medal. And you could see like what he and his wife had been through with all the training, because it's a full-time job, even though it's an amateur
Totally.
sport. And when he won that gold medal, just this guy from, I don't know, West Bend or West Allis or wherever he was from, it was just a great feeling that a guy from Wisconsin did this, you know?
Totally. And I think
Yeah.
that brings up a really good point. Like, of course, you're rooting for Team USA, but it gives you a specific person to root for. You're like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I want you to go home with the goal, like, which I think is really fun.
I totally agree. All right, so we've got more coming up here. Our guest is Ellie Bordeaux. We'll have her for a few more minutes after a short break. We'll get caught up here on some texts until we go to break. Stacy Sue says the Jackson 5, a 45 record ABC. That was a great, probably cost about 70 cents, Stacy Sue, if it was a 45. That's exciting. And Stacy Sue says 33 album. Her first purchase was the Bay City Rollers. Outstanding stuff. Keep those texts coming, folks. We will get caught up soon. We'll have a few more minutes with Ellie Bordeaux from Up North News. She's always fun to talk to about our state. We are coming right back. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
There's a heartbreak, baby, and it feels like
Welcome back. All right, we just got a text on the stream from Sydney Politics. It says, Pete, are they not paying you enough to keep the heat on? I'm worried about seeing that hat each episode. Let me know if I need to make some calls. Sydney, thank you for your concern. No, I've been doing the show from home. This is my third night in a row due to illness. And I have to say, Conrad, we thought Conrad Ellie had gigantism the other day and alien hand syndrome. Those are real things. Turns out it was just the sniffles. But we have, I've got, I had, so I bundled up and I got a heater now. Now I'm actually sweating myself out. So I'm an absolute mess. But thank you for your concern, Sydney. Ellie Bordeaux is here, folks. News, sports, and weather coming up in about 7 minutes. That'll be after we let Ellie go. But let's make the most of our time here. She does great work at Up North News. You have a new section, Ellie, you told me about called Badger State Buzz. Love the title. Tell us about it.
Yes, so we started this section because we wanted to have a little bit of an events roundup kind of thing of what's going on in our statewide. What are some fun events going on? And so we've started doing this. We started it last year, but I want to say in like November, December-ish. And it's been so fun to compile all of these events, see what's going on in the state, even for somewhat of selfish reasons, just for my sake of like,
See,
oh, I get to
do.
see,
Yeah.
right? Like, is there something for me to do this weekend? And so there's obviously no shortage of things happening in Wisconsin every week, every day.
Right.
But this is kind of just a small little roundup of some fun things that we have seen around the state going on. And it's really fun to check those things out. And it's cool to see that our readers that are like, oh, thank you so much for putting this in there. This is something for me to do this weekend,
Definitely. You've got it's called Up North News. Wisconsin is kind of already up north, but does the title of the site, I guess, refer mostly to North Wisconsin or the whole state? I know you guys cover the whole state, but does that typically refer to the up north in the state?
Yeah, so we have to clarify this kind of a lot. We are called Up North News because our parent national company Courier considers Wisconsin, or I guess I would consider Wisconsin too, the up north of the US.
Sure.
And so that's why it's called Up North News. We cover all of Wisconsin. So sometimes people will get a little bit upset of like, why are you covering things in Madison or Milwaukee? Like, that's not up north. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, true. Those things are still relevant and important to you, but we do still try to cover up north things. We try and cover the whole state. And that's why I think this events section, the Badger State Buzz, is really helpful because I try and do as good of a job as I can of trying to get things from all over the state. So wherever you are, there's somewhere you can go with at least within hopefully at least like an hour that you can go check out.
Definitely. You guys do a great job with it. That's why I asked, because I could see people from up north going, hey, wait a minute, whoa, Baraboo, that's not us, or whatever it is.
Right.
So you have another new what is it called coming up, your Wisconsin View, am I getting that right?
Yes.
Tell us about that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's another section we added somewhat. It was about the same time as the Badger State Buzz. And I kept asking, once I kind of took over this role as the newsletter editor, I started asking people to send in pictures because I was like, I think it's a really fun way to get our readers involved. Like, I really wanted to connect with my audience. And so people were sending in photos, and then I was getting a ton of photos every day. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, this is a lot. I should make this its own section. And so I started calling it Your Wisconsin View because I think it's a really fun way to see other people's perspectives of the state, whether that's up north where they have 2 feet of snow, or where I am where it's like, we just got a lot of snow today, but it was green for the last week, So
yeah, right.
I think it's been really fun to see people send in photos of nature, of birds, of their house, like their decorations. I think it's so fun, and I get so many photos every day. It's so hard to pick just one to feature, but it's so fun for me to see.
It's interesting because I opened up, knowing you were coming on the show tonight, I opened up my email, and the first thing I saw was this great, I don't know if it was a sunset or a sunrise, like in Kenosha, and the sky was beautiful. I'm like, what is this? Like, and it was like the first thing I saw. It left this great impression. It's great.
Totally. Yeah, I think it's really, especially when you're just opening up the newsletter, I think it's a really cool thing to see right away. And some of the photos our readers send in, like, are amazing. Like the
Yeah.
sunsets and the sunrises, like those are beautiful, but we have some very talented, like professional photographers that send in photos, and
Hmm.
it's so nice of them to let me feature their work, but it's so impressive. Like it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Check out Up North News, folks. It's just a great publication to follow. Ellie, before we let you go, we've got about a minute left or so. Are you binge watching anything you could recommend? Are you got your hooks into a TV show?
I actually right now, my boyfriend and I recently started Money Heist, and I have a
Oh, yeah.
degree in Spanish. So you can
Oh,
watch
nice.
it's technically a Spanish show, I believe. And
Yeah.
so I watch it in Spanish with the English subtitles, and I've really liked that. I think I'm not a total like movie TV person, but I like it because I can watch it in Spanish. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how far into that show are you?
I think 3 or 4 episodes in, I
Okay.
think.
Well,
Not super far.
Let's talk when you're like into season 2 or complete season 1. I have some thoughts on the show because I watched
Okay,
it too. So I would love to get your thoughts on it. We'll do that down the
perfect.
road. But thank you, ma'am. So much fun every time you're on the
Yeah.
show. Have a great night and keep up the great work at Up North News.
Thank you so much for having me on. Good to see you.
You too. Bye, Ellie. All right, that's Ellie Bordeaux. Check out Up North News, folks. It's a great follow, as it were. All right, news, sports, and weather are next. In the second hour, we've got Stuart J. Waddles here. We always have fun with Stuart, and we're going to talk about National Nothing Day Con. We're going to talk about that too. See if we can expand on that. It's Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The grand facade so soon will burn without a noise, without my pride. I reach out from the inside. In your eyes.
Very first time I gave away my heart.
Local news and timeless hits. WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. U.S. officials tell ABC News a federal investigation has been opened into Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz over allegations of obstructing federal law enforcement activities in the state. Minneapolis police and city leaders calling on demonstrators to protest peacefully, with federal agents stepping up immigration operations. A new study from the UK disputes recent claims that women who take Tylenol while pregnant have a greater chance of giving birth to babies with neurological conditions.
British doctors looked over at least 60 past studies and have found no association between acetaminophen and babies born with autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability. The authors who published their work in the Lancet Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Women's Health Journal said the most important studies compared siblings when one pregnancy involved acetaminophen exposure and the other did not. Doctors say there's more risk to unborn babies and their moms when pregnant women don't treat fever or severe pain during pregnancy.
ABC's Sherry Preston. This is ABC News. In a break with the U.S., Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney meeting with China's leader today in Beijing, announcing a deal to cut Canadian tariffs on Chinese electric cars in return for lower tariffs on Canadian farm products.
It's expected that within 3 years, this agreement will drive considerable Chinese investment in Canada's auto sector, creating good careers in Canada.
On a 500-year-old drawing attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, researchers say they may have recovered traces of genetic material.
Within the pores of the chalk drawing of a baby's head, geneticists have found male chromosomes, thought to be the artist's. As ethicists ponder the possibility of cloning one of history's great thinkers, scientists say, slow down. A cloned Leonardo da Vinci, they say, would merely be a long-lost twin who may or may not be able to draw at all.
ABC's Jim Ryan. This year's first powerful winter storm creating more chaos on the roads with major pileups. Heavy snow crippling parts of the Great Lakes and Northeast and will continue through the weekend. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
I'm Angela Bassett. For 33 million Americans, one bite can cause a life-threatening reaction. Now, there's a needle-free option for epinephrine. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy tonight, scattered snow showers, and a little breezy. Lows in the mid-teens. For tomorrow, more clouds, more flurries and snow showers. Highs in the mid-20s. And snow showers back again on Sunday and breezy again. Colder, highs mid-teens. Right now, it's 31.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who appreciates a nice hot meal at a fair price, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Act 2 here at Night Light on a Friday night. Beautiful Friday night in Wisconsin. You know, Conrad, I am a pretty positive person, I would say. You've known me for a couple of years now. Would you agree to that?
Yeah.
All right. There's a yes and quality to conversation and improv that you just kind of go with it because you see I'm headed somewhere. And when you put the brakes on like that, okay, whatever. I will say I am a positive guy. I try to see the silver lining and the glass half full, even in winter, which I don't like. But I'm about to throw in the towel. I can't. I have had to brush my car off. It's like every day there's some sort of precipitation. I don't remember a winter like this so far. And you don't have a garage now, do you?
No, I don't. So I'm dealing with the same thing, Pete.
All right. See, that's a little better. Now we're in cahoots there. We can.
Yeah, but I can walk to work.
Yeah, that is nice. So if you go out and you don't feel like wiping your car off, you're like, I guess I'm walking today. But honestly,
Yeah, I
every
mean,
day,
or if I just want some exercise, that too.
yeah, it's just terrible. I'm tired.
Get
of
some
it.
steps in.
Tired of it. How many steps do you get a day? You
The
count them?
last couple of days, like 3.
Well, you're set. You got a good. I mean, that's good.
I don't know. I honestly I don't count, to be honest. I don't know.
It's funny.
I should count. I need to be better at that this year, but I
gotta
always
get
forget to
a,
put on my Apple Watch to do it. Like
Oh, sweet. You
I'll
have
leave the
one, okay.
house and then I'll be like, oh, all right, I don't have it on.
And then you start counting manually, and after like 20, you're like, this isn't very much fun at all.
Yeah.
I almost
You
went
asked
to
me
the
to-
gym last night. My daughter she's like, Dad, you want to go? And I said, you know what? I will. I'll just walk the treadmill casually. And my wife just looks at me and goes, what is wrong with you? I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going. Sorry. I don't know. I thought maybe, getting your blood pumping a little bit would help. But,
I was thinking about doing that too. I was thinking about going to the gym on Thursday, and I got up to I got all the stuff on. I'm like, what am I doing? That's gonna be the worst workout of all time.
yeah, it's just, if you're not feeling it, you just shouldn't go. Because,
Yeah.
your body when you're sick needs rest. I mean, that's just.
Also, it's a gym, so you can spread those germs pretty quickly there.
Yeah. Get yourself sit in the massage chair, pass on whatever you got. I said massage chair. I don't know. Hyped up on Tylenol and I can't talk.
All right, so I got a question for you, right?
Yeah.
So there's this one YMCA
Okay.
in the Green Bay area that actually does have a massage chair.
All right.
And on Monday, I was like, hey, I got pretty sore from Saturday because my brother and I lifted and we went pretty hard,
Okay.
trying to show each other up the whole time,
Sure. Nothing wrong with that.
Anyways, so I get done with my workout and I asked the guy before, I was like, can I schedule one of the massage chairs for myself at 2:15, please? He goes, yeah, of course, I'll put that in there. And I get up there and the door's closed and it's locked. What do you do there?
Knock. Like you didn't pay for it, did you? It was just like one of those.
No. It's just, kind of, I pay for a membership there, but you can, when the door's open, you can just walk in, but that's not how it's supposed to work there. And so I go down to the desk and I ask the guy, yeah, I think there's a guy up there in the room or something. And he goes, well, I need to watch the floor down here, so just go knock on it. So I go back up and I see it's still closed and I just get my stuff and leave.
Well, what do you think he was doing in there?
I don't know.
Something inappropriate?
No, just the confrontation. I didn't want to deal with or something. I don't know.
But if you open that door, you don't know what you're going to see.
Yeah, well, I didn't want. It was locked, so I didn't want to knock on it and disturb the. Even though I had my set time at 2:15, I could have been like, yeah, I have a scheduled time here. I still didn't do it. I don't know why. I left and I'm like, why didn't I just knock?
Well, that's what I don't like. What I don't understand, like what, why does the clientele have the option to lock the door?
Yeah, it's a private massage room, I guess, but
yeah, but you think he's like dropping trow in there and riding it full
I
money
hope
or
not.
what?
Because
well,
it's
of course.
I hope not.
Go get your own massage chair if that's what you're going to do.
That's why I wipe it down every time before I get onto it. I wipe down the whole machine.
I wipe it down even if I see another guy before me had wiped it down, because your attitude is typically, well, I'm a pretty clean guy, I'll give it a quick wipe. Other people are like, no, I'm gonna wipe it. I don't know where you've been.
Yeah, it makes it worse if they did a full workout too and there's sweat all over it.
Totally. I don't know if I told you this before. One time I was at the gym. It was a Bally's, I think, when I still lived in LA, and this Neanderthal on one of the exercise bikes next to me. He goes, hey man, I got to take a look at your sports. And I was working my way through the paper. I had a process, so when we still had papers and you draped it over the console. And I go, yeah, when I'm done with it. And he goes, Oh, is that how it is? This guy was sweating like profusely. Like if I got that paper back from him, I wouldn't have been able to read the print. He was soaking wet. And I'm like, no. And I go, yeah, I guess it is. Like he's like going to fight me over the paper that I paid $0.25 for because of his sweat glands.
And you said, yeah, sure, after I'm done with it. Why would he say that to that? I don't know.
I'll give you the paper. You can have it, but I don't want it back. And that's the thing. Like I like to go by the entertainment section, then I'd read sports. I had like a little routine, and he was really ticked off, man. I mean, we didn't throw down or anything.
I'm gonna
ask. Even wanted to fight that guy because he was so sweaty. That's his best defense.
I guess you just be like, back off. I don't want to touch on your sweat.
Ahead, take the paper. Take all the papers. Take the paper machine.
Next time I'm at the gym and I'm, walking on the elliptical or something like that on the treadmill, I'm gonna look over to the guy who has his phone out. I'm gonna say, hey, can I check the sports quick?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It's the same exact thing. And he's gonna get his sweaty mitts all over your phone.
You know how they would look at me like I'm like psycho or something.
And
I have my own phone in my pocket too. It's like, hey, can I look at the sports quick, please?
Yeah, I'd like to look on your phone just to put you out a little bit. Sydney did say, like, I just realized, like, I was wearing a hat and I had a hat on tonight, but I got so damn hot in my office here. But I do wear hats a lot during the day in the winter.
Yeah.
But not on the radio. Like I try to like every night make myself look presentable. I'm going on the radio, on the stream or whatever. So it's funny that Sydney does not miss much, Conrad, whether he's Frankenstein or politics.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Oh, he already bailed on that joke, apparently. Hey, if you're just joining us, folks, we had a really fun first hour. We talked about, I did a little ode to my Uncle Pat, which was fun. And then, that was fun for me. I understand that people might not have are going to record that for a copy for themselves, but I appreciate people humoring me. But we had a great time with Ellie Bordeaux from Up North News. Talked about a new cool feature they have, Badger State Buzz, and they do a great job. If you are interested in checking out the first hour of tonight's show, just go to civicmedia.us. All shows are cataloged in podcast form, and you can see what you missed. Our question of the night, Con, let's go crazy. Let's reintroduce the question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
What is your first music purchase? What was your first music purchase? Was it an album, a record, a CD, a tape? Let us know. Or if it was an instrument, that's fine too. How was music introduced to your life? What was the first thing you heard? Let us know at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, and be part of the show. We love getting texts throughout the course of the show and love when you guys join up and get in on the fun. Coming up at 6:35 tonight, Stuart J. Waddles will be here. Stuart covers news for Civic Media in Southeast Wisconsin. You probably hear him in Northeast Wisconsin as well, because that voice just needs to be in as many markets as possible. Stuart will be here. We will talk about all kinds of fun stuff, so you won't want to miss that. And then it is a Bar Band Friday night. So in hour number 3, Terry Barr will be here. We're going to bring Terry on a few minutes early because she wrote a great piece about Martin Luther King Jr. for the website. We want to talk to her about that. And then, you know what else I want to ask her about, Con? We talked about it a little bit last night. You remember?
Yes, about the 2020 beer and 20...
Beer and Cheese Fest in Madison.
Yes.
You are correct, sir, at the Alliance Center. She wrote a piece on that as well. Terry is very in tune with what's happening all over Wisconsin, so she might give you a couple ideas for this weekend too. So lots of fun stuff happening still on the show, still to come. But let us know what your favorite, or your first, I should say, music purchase was. We have this is National Nothing Day, Con. Did you know that was a day?
I didn't. I looked at the days of the year today, and there isn't nothing today. There's Fig Newton Day.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. How do you feel about Fig Newtons?
I used to absolutely hate them, but I don't mind them anymore. I haven't had them in a while, I feel like, but they're not terrible.
Okay, I'm with you there. They were never my go-to cookie when I was a kid. Though.
Yeah.
I've never run into the Fig Newtons.
No,
It was always
I mean that's why I haven't had it in so long because I
Yeah.
think my dad liked them or something, so they're at the house sometimes. But ever since I moved on my own, I've never bought Fig Newtons for myself.
It's kind of like if there are Fig Newtons in the house and you say to your folks, do we have anything sweet or are there any cookies? And they say, no, but we have Fig Newtons. You kind of get pissed off at first. And then you're like, well, all right, fine. It's like,
yeah.
So I don't know. But it has a national day. And it's also, though, National Nothing Day. Here are some things you can do on National Nothing Day because according to this article we found in, where was this? I think Collider, maybe? It says National Nothing Day, a day to spend doing absolutely nothing and loving it. First of all, could you do that, Con? Could you do nothing all day?
Just sitting and
Yeah.
I guess like watching a movie.
That's,
But
something, though. Yeah.
And no, I don't think I could just sit there and stare at a wall.
And that's, there's that old proverb, all of the problems in the world stem from man's inability to sit quietly and do nothing. We have to move. Typically, it's in our nature. Here are some things to do on National Nothing Day, since doing them basically accomplishes nothing. Argue politics on Facebook, for sure.
Okay.
Finish your dumb screenplay, robots. What the hell does that mean? Get your palm read. I'm too scared to do that. I won't do that.
No, I won't either.
I'm worried you're going to tell me something, and then it'll be in the back of my mind like it's.
Yeah, and then I'll just keep the. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not crossing that street. That's where I'm supposed to get hit by a truck. Start a GoFundMe for Timothy Busfield, the actor from The West Wing who was accused of pedophilia. Anything on TikTok. I don't really do much on TikTok. I have 3 followers. Drink from a bottle using only your mouth. Wow. What does that even look like? Try to train your cat to do, well, anything. Learn how to be a blacksmith. Invite Stephen Miller to your MLK Day barbecue. Yeah, I don't know. This is not a very good list, I will admit. It sounded better. When I looked it over earlier, I like the TikTok thing, the GoFundMe for Timothy Busfield, but yeah. And none of those are doing nothing. All right, we're coming right back, folks. We're going to read some of your texts next on Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Cry, cry, cry alone when you feeling blue. I'm waiting just for you.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
Badger State Brewing is ready to serve you this dry January with a refreshing non-alcoholic hoppy water, a crisp, hop-infused sparkling water. Try the original or sip on the new citrus hoppy water for a bright burst of flavor. Check out their Barrel House Event Hall, the perfect setting with a spacious, rustic chic venue for birthdays, weddings, or any party worth hosting. Check out the Friday Acoustic Music Series inside the tap room. See local Wisconsin artists every Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. while enjoying a brewski or a cold hoppy water.
It's time for Eye on the Community on WGBW, sponsored by Insight Eye Care, serving the Fox Valley since 1972 with comprehensive eye care services. Find them on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Their goal is to improve lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit WIinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today. Here's what's happening in our area. Has winter got you feeling bluer than the blue moon of Kentucky? Colder than a cold, frosty morning? More lonesome than a moonlight waltz? Join the Wick Snippers for their monthly Bluegrass Jam. An open, casual evening of pickin', grinnin', and high lonesome singing at Titletown Brewing Company, 320 North Broadway on the first Thursday of the month. Hang for a beer and experience the power of good community and its effects on the soul. This has been your Eye on the Community, brought to you by Insight Eye Care. If it's happening in the Green Bay area, it's on WGBW.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane Savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think. Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Words like violence break the silence, come crashing in.
All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Love that tune. Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode. That would have been my first purchase if I were a lot younger. I could see myself making Depeche Mode my first purchase. Great tune. Our question of the night, folks, is what was your first music purchase? You can share an album, CD, tape, MP3, instrument, concert, whatever. What was your introduction into beautiful music? Stuart J. Waddles is coming up at 6:35, just after news, sports, and weather, which is just 7 minutes away. Eric in the 608 says, Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl on a 45 record. It's so great. And I doubt you still have that, Eric, but it would be cool if you did. Monica in Mount Horeb in the 608 says, Five Flags Center in Dubuque had a community garage sale, and I bought an 8-track of Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare and 2 piano books, Gordon Lightfoot and Carole King collections. So I've really been enjoying Conrad's Carole King obsession. You know what? Conrad and I have been working together for a couple of years now, and I do love it when I give like bumper music, and I can tell what song he likes. So that one, were you a Bruce fan, Con, before we started doing this? Like casual, maybe?
No, I wouldn't say completely. No.
Okay. But now you are? Now you like Carole King? That's awesome.
Carole King's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, you probably knew about her already. But Gordon Lightfoot, Monica, that's a great one. I imagine I'm going to do a follow-up with Stuart about Gordon Lightfoot because I know he was on a Gordo kick recently. 414 says, my first music purchase was the New Kids on the Block cassette. That's awesome. Great choice, 414. What did they sing? I'm trying to remember. I was not everything I was just about to say was like NSYNC or Boys to Men. I get my boy bands mixed up. But great text. Thank you. Steve from Florida, Conrad's dad says, way back in the day, I bought the 45 single from Donny Osmond, the Osmonds, One Bad Apple. I don't remember. I mean, I remember the Osmond show. You remember that, Steve? Friday night, it was the Osmonds. It was like the whole family. But I just don't remember any of their songs. But they were huge in the 70s when I was a little kid. I remember it seemed like every TV, no matter what house I was in, had the Osmonds on. Matt in the 715 in Eau Claire says, embarrassed to say, Pete, Hall & Oates, Private Eyes. The good news, this dates me perfectly to be in my formative years in 1984. Best year ever for music. Really? He says, hey, is that Freedom Rock Man? I never consider that, Matt. Is that the best? I mean, sometimes you love music because it just brings back great memories. And sometimes the music is actually the best music of the generation. So it's all relative. And if that's your opinion, I respect it, Matt. Thank you, sir. Tony the Trucker says, Pete purchased a GE transistor radio in 1966 with paper route money, carrying it everywhere, listening to AM radio. I thought I was the coolest kid anywhere. Cold remedy is to warm some Jim Beam in the micro and sip it slowly.
All right.
Another Wisconsin suggestion that involves alcohol to chase away your cold. And you know what? If you could make me a mocktail of that somehow, Tony, I would do that. Listen, if I could get rid of my cold right now, I'd have some Jim Beam. But I think it would just get me buzzed. And maybe, I don't know, make me forget about my cold for a few minutes. Either way, thank you for the suggestion. Tony the Trucker, love when Tony texts. Rin from Madison? How would you say that, Con? Rin or Ryan? Rin. It's got to be
Ryan.
Okay. Ryan, according to Conrad in the 608, says, first musical purchase, the Grassroots, 45, The River is Wide. I remember that tune. Thank you very much for the text, Rin or Ryan. Awesome stuff. Nick from Marshall in the 608 says, the first CD I bought was Legend by Bob Marley. First LP I bought was Natty Dread, also by Bob Marley. And my first musical instrument was the melodica, which I have been fascinated with ever since I first heard the reggae artist Augustus Pablo, who was known for playing his melodica and only sang on one song to the best of my knowledge. And I have a lot of his CDs and LPs and even a 10-inch single. Oh my God, I remember those too. And some 45s he produced for other artists on his record label titled Rockers. That was some serious, that was a deep dive. Thank you, Nick. Awesome stuff. John from Columbia County in 608 says, UFO live in ButtCon. You think that's a real thing, Con?
I have no idea.
He could be doing like one of those things where the school kids call in the names like Phil McCracken, stuff like that. I don't know if he's messing with me. But I trust that John is being serious. Live in ButtCon in Japan, 1970s. Think I screwed up ButtCon. I need an explanation of that.
I tried typing it in and it just
nothing came up.
Can you guess what comes up?
There's something.
Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin. I don't think John's typing about Bitcoin. We know that doesn't sound like our John. But that's okay if you are John. Tyler in the 608 says a 45 of Come On People. Now smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now by the Youngbloods. That is a great tune, Tyler. I could use a little bit of that right now, right? Things are a little crazy. Love that song. Paul in Bayview in the 414 says, 45 RPM Brandy by Looking Glass. Awesome tune. 33 RPM Dream. Oh, Dream On by Aerosmith. It's just one of those songs like in my neighborhood. I remember that growing up. It feels like I always heard Dream On coming from somebody's radio. Outstanding texts, folks. We got some social media texts we'll get to as well. Stuart J. Wallace is coming up after the news. It is a Bar Band Friday night. Terry Barr will be here. We are having some fun on a Friday, and I'm so glad you're here. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. U.S. officials tell ABC News a federal investigation has been opened into Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz over allegations of obstructing federal law enforcement activities in the state. Minneapolis police and city leaders calling on demonstrators to protest peacefully, with federal agents stepping up immigration operations. A new study from the UK disputes recent claims that women who take Tylenol while pregnant have a greater chance of giving birth to babies with neurological conditions.
British doctors looked over at least 60 past studies and have found no association between acetaminophen and babies born with autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability. The authors who published their work in the Lancet Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Women's Health Journal said the most important studies compared siblings when one pregnancy involved acetaminophen exposure and the other did not. Doctors say there's more risk to unborn babies and their moms when pregnant women don't treat fever or severe pain during pregnancy.
ABC's Sherry Preston. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy tonight, scattered snow showers, and a little breezy. Lows in the mid-teens. For tomorrow, more clouds, more flurries and snow showers. Highs in the mid-20s. And snow showers back again on Sunday and breezy again. Colder, highs mid-teens. Current temp is 30.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So do what you love and bring your talent to life. Your passion, your skills, your career. You belong here. Learn more at youbelonghere.media.
Civic Media.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
I was stuck in a state of panic.
Welcome back. It's all about the music tonight, folks. It is a BARR Band Friday night. Terry BARR will be here in Act 3 a little earlier tonight because we're going to talk to her about some of the great pieces she wrote for civicmedia.us. And what better night to have a question? The question that we have tonight is, what was your first music purchase? And John was a real sport and showed us the album cover to UFO. That we couldn't pronounce. We didn't know if it was Butcon or what, but and I do kind of remember the album cover. Thank you, John, for sharing that. It's like a very dystopian kind of had a creepy look to it, but I can't say I remember the music. But either way, he says he still has it, so that's cool. So let's transition to our next guest. This is exciting. I'm very excited to have this next guy on the show. He's one of our frequent flyers here at Nightlight, and I always enjoy talking to Stuart J. Waddles, regardless of topic. He does an outstanding job covering news here at Civic Media, where he is the news director in Southeast Wisconsin, home of the Chicago Bears. Conrad?
I don't know.
Let's talk to him. Let's hear from the man himself, Mr. Stuart J. Waddles. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Just like a paperback novel. How you doing, bud?
Listen, the last time I saw you, you were singing Gordon Lightfoot, and
Yeah,
I
I've
just
kinda
wonder
got
if
off
you
the
took a
Lightfoot.
break.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that you just conjured it up in the past 15 minutes, so thanks.
Of course. Yeah, I'll have you
Just
singing
like an
Lightfoot.
old-time movie.
We were sending pictures to sort of exemplify the lyrics. That was fun after your last appearance. About a ghost from a wishing well in a castle dark. You sent me a picture of a big castle dark. Outstanding stuff.
Well, and then people in the comments aren't knowing what's going on unless they know what's going on.
Yeah, it's just the inside jokes go over great on the radio. Are you now when you were here last time? Because I had a Gordon Lightfoot question. I don't want to have to go back to it because that would be really,
I'm
aberrant
past
behavior.
that point in my life, Pete.
What?
No, go ahead. I don't know. Just go ahead and bring it. What do
And
you
you just discovered Gordon Lightfoot? I mean, I'm sure you'd
No,
heard of him. And okay,
here's how it happened. Again, the anniversary of the ship going down happened, and then
Yeah.
I get to thinking, what kind of madman writes like an 8-minute song about that, and it turns into a hit within like a year, and then you start down the path.
He
That's
must
how I
have-
got down the rabbit hole.
he must have been like, this is a very personal song. I feel bad for these guys in this ship. It was a cool, dark but cool event. I'm just going to write a song about it. I guarantee, I've never met the man, unfortunately, but that he never would have said this is going to be a top 10 hit or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's all very strange, and that it was a hit. Not only did he record this 8-minute song, they released it. Someone had the cojones to release this as a single.
Right.
So it's interesting, and that's how I got down the Lightfoot hole. But I've come back up the hole.
Okay.
I've not gone down any more holes since then, Pete.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Okay.
Do Do you have a top 3? And I promise I do have other questions that are not Lightfoot related.
We're going back into Lightfoot.
Do you have a top 3? Because I know you like Sundown.
If you could read my mind, I think is number 1. I've come away from Lightfoot with that's one of the best songs ever.
I
You
agree.
got to listen to the background. There's some picking going on there that is
man.
next level.
That's one of those songs you put on and you get your headphones on as loud as you can because it's not like a rocker, but you hear the intricacies and the little details. I 100% agree with you. Did I send you that video of him when he was like 72 playing it?
Yeah. He lost a step there at the end. There's some point in the 80s, there's a medical thing, and like the bravado was gone from his voice. Like he had that affect and that he wasn't able to do that anymore.
Right. That's interesting. I do like I can get past that sometimes if the soul is still there, and when I see what he's singing, it's like Springsteen, or one of these great songwriters that still feel it. And but I do agree with you. I think he had a minor stroke at some point, but
A stroke. I think he had a tracheotomy for some reason, and I think that might have. There was a few speculations about what happened there.
all right. Well, should we move on from
We can. Well, first of all, I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you.
Uncle Pat, right?
Pat Murphy, heck of a guy. Hell of a guy.
Heck of a tribute.
He is the definition of the phrase hell of a guy. He took care of his friends. You just don't make him better than Pat Murphy. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that, Stuart. And here's a weird, just a quick aside. My daughter, where she goes to college, is roommates with her first cousin once removed, Pat Murphy's granddaughter. It just worked out.
Small world, huh?
Very small world. Great stuff. One of the weird serendipitous moments in life that makes it so great. So I will keep it on music, Stuart. Do you remember your first purchase?
I was trying to think about this. I do remember when I was little using my own money. Now I'm talking like 7 or 8 years old, buying a single cassette, and it was Rockin' Sydney, Don't Mess With My Toot Toot. And now that I got older, I know that Toot Toot's talking about his aunt, but as a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old kid, I'm Toot Toot, hilarious. Connie, check the chat if you want to bump out with that. But yeah, Don't Mess With My Toot Toot. It's like it's a Cajun song. It's a Creole song from some guy from Louisiana singing about his aunt.
That's what Toot Toot means?
I believe it is Toot Toot or aunt or grandma. It's something in French.
And you're like thinking he went there. Like, I can't believe
he's singing about passing wind. I'm 7 or 8 years old. It's hilarious. But on from there, like the first album that I bought after that, a few years later, it was NWA. And I'm not sure that I can even say the title of that one.
No, right, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's
had
all right.
a warning label on it.
Yeah, no kidding. There was a great who was the comic? Barry Sobel, I think, that said, do you think the band NWA how did it go? Do you think Northwest Airlines is really ticked off that there's a band called NWA?
Probably the National Wrestling Alliance was probably upset as well.
Yeah, right.
Old Ric Flair over there, like catching strays.
I do remember, like I said, Deep Purple was my first. It was like 1978 maybe or something like that. And I bought it. I walked a mile with a friend and he bought an album and I bought an album. But I said earlier I was a fan of that album for like 4 months and I don't know what happened to it. But one of the early albums I bought was Boston, that debut album that Boston did, where every song is outstanding. And I probably still have that vinyl somewhere.
I'm interested in the listening method. You're talking about an album. Mine were first tapes. I did buy a CD eventually. That was Nirvana and Naughty by Nature on the same day.
Oh,
but
nice.
did you get into 8 tracks? That was kind of within your time frame, right?
It was. They were just kind of. I mean, what I bought was vinyl. That was still the go-to. But the 8 tracks, like the cool kids' parents had 8-track players. We didn't. And I guess those still are great quality, right? 8 tracks.
From what I understand, it's similar to a cassette tape. It's just kind of presented differently. It's not like it's in the reel-to-reel instead of going through that 8-track crazy mechanism. I remember having 8 tracks around when I was a kid too, but it's curious about how were there big 8-track collectors back then?
There were, and I think if I remember correctly, you had like like you could push a button and it would change to a different song. It was like a program thing, and I don't know how that worked. I know cassette, you fast forward, rewind, but it was different with 8 tracks.
If you're familiar with old timey radio, where they had like the spots on the carts, so like they had a specific
Okay.
actual cart that looked like that thing that they'd take in and push out, which would have all the commercials on back then.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's great. All right, so let's talk about. I thought this was kind of cool. I kind of asked you what was going on in Southeast Wisconsin. You said there's a drone for first responders in Milwaukee. What are they trying to do with that, Stuart?
Yeah, they're this is like a trial program, and it's extremely interesting because so you call 911, you got a problem, right? Instead of the officer getting there first, a drone will get there first to see what's doing. So you're gonna have like somebody flying this a sworn officer flying this drone into the situation, 200 feet in the air, I think is where they're estimating, looking down and relaying that to an officer that's on their way. So they're trying to, I think you can figure that out. They're trying to assess the situation to try and go in as safely as possible. It's a trial program. I think it's like one of 50 nationwide, but extremely interesting. And I think a good use of technology. I want the drones on the interstate telling somebody they're going too slow in the fast lane, or vice versa, or tell the semis to move it on over. You got another lane over there.
Right.
I'm serious.
I'm totally with you on that. We said last night, we talked about signs that someone's a bad driver, and one of the signs was when the handle in the passenger seat is worn from people grabbing it so hard.
Yeah. Oh, they just get oblivious. They're sitting in there in the far left lane, and people have to go around them, and it's a lot of death there on the highways, Pete, and I want to end it.
I'm with you. And not only that, and I've talked about this before because I have a commute typically to the studio. And I know once in a while we all space out. Someone passes us, we're in the left lane. It's like, oh, crap, sorry. And you move over. The people that really drive me nuts are the ones where you pass them, other people pass them, and they just still stay there. Like, do you not know anything?
I think they're oblivious until there's somebody passing them. I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's passing me. I got to speed up. Oh, geez. I think there's an element of that to it. And it's just not a confidence. You got to go in being confident.
So the drone would basically get there and tell the other police force, well, this is serious. There's a guy with a gunshot wound or something, or this is really nothing. It's just two people arguing or something.
That's exactly it. Or it's a crowd of 80 that's fighting, or there's a bunch of cars in an intersection. It can get it can give you more. Hey, we're going to need more than two of you. So it's very interesting and a sign of things to come. I think eventually, I can see every department everywhere having a drone for this purpose. I think a lot of them already have them more in the fire and rescue department, but I think police are going to naturally use something like this. I hope they would.
Yeah, I think it's great too. Or it makes sense anyway.
And just one more thing, I'm thinking about this now. What is the offense for shooting that thing out of the air? You think it's got to be a pretty hefty,
right?
That's a life sentence, because you don't want to encourage that sort of thing. I don't know, maybe not a life sentence, maybe going too far, but you want to discourage people shooting your drone out of the air
because someone's going to do it at some point.
Of course they are.
Right. There's always one, always one drone shooter in the crowd. So have you seen the show Pluribus?
No, I've heard about it. I hear it's a big thing.
It is a big thing. It got Emmy nominated. I think it sucks, but they have drones all over that show. It's kind of a dystopian type thing, and they have drones flying over. So I don't know. I just thought that would be a good talking point. If you'd seen it, I would love to have gotten.
It's not so much the drones that concern me; it's the artificial intelligence that's scanning all the faces.
Yeah,
and, adding it to databases and that whole thing.
Absolutely. Hey, so we're going to talk about. And we'll probably have to do this after the break, but I know that at some point the Packers are soon to be, it would seem, the only open air stadium in the NFC North. Regardless of where the Bears build their stadium. But I remember reading that Kenosha was not out of the picture.
Kenosha's out of the picture.
It has to be, right?
It was never part of the picture. It got close. We're talking Waukegan close, in which at this point, who knows? I think Waukegan could still be in the mix based on what it's been going on. Actually, the past day and a half, there's been a lot of motion in Chicago and Indiana. So it's getting interesting, but Wisconsin has never been a plan. Never, they shouldn't consider that at all. Although it's 50-50 here in Kenosha.
All right. Well, that's good. All right. Well, let's pick up there after this very short break. Stuart J. Waddles is here. We are not talking about Gordon Lightfoot anymore, folks, unless there's a demand for it. We'll go back to it. We'll do an encore. I'm just saying it's not on the agenda. So we're coming right back. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Big deals.
WGBW has some big news. Introducing the brand new Green Bay Big Deals. You can save at least 30% on gift certificates from your favorite local businesses and keep your money right here in our community. Craving lunch? Planning a night out? Looking for the perfect gift or a little treat for yourself? Green Bay Big Deals has exactly what you want. Go to WGBW.FM right now. Click the Big Deals banner and stretch your dollars further with Green Bay Big Deals.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Don't mess with my tutu. Don't mess with my tutu. Now you can have the other woman, but don't mess with my tutu. When she was born in a bird suit.
Who's the other woman? You can mess with
is a term of endearment for a significant other.
toot. Okay, so if you can mess with the other women, but not my toot. Okay, that's the first thing you ever bought, music-wise.
Yeah, and I don't know. I must have heard it somewhere. I don't know. We did a lot of traveling as a kid, so there might have been a stray radio station playing that song somewhere. And
Love it. That's so great.
probably, I'm guessing, probably some truck stop had it.
Yeah. That is the voice of Stuart J. Waddles, folks. He is the news director for Southeast Wisconsin here at Civic Media. We have him on the show often to talk about really fun stuff like the TV show Bluey and Gordon Lightfoot and where the Bears are going to build their stadium. I love that you're kind of when you said before, Stuart, that Racine or Kenosha was 50-50, did you mean Bear Packer fans?
Oh yeah. Oh
There's
yeah,
that
definitely.
many Bear fans in
Yeah, there
I
are.
had no idea. Wow.
Yeah, there are. Well, and part of it is the influx of people moving from Illinois. Part of it is that Kenosha, according to the federal government, is part of the Chicago media market.
No
Kenosha's in
kidding.
the DMA for Chicago. So part of that required when they put cable television in, well, you could put an antenna on your roof and get Chicago stations. But when
Mm.
Jones Intercable came in the 80s, they were told you've got to provide the Chicago and Milwaukee stations. So you were able to get Mark Giangreco down there in Chicago doing
Yeah.
his sports, and that's what I ended up doing. I'm a Packers fan, but I grew up watching Chicago news, and it's not that I hate the Bears as much as the Vikings, although the past week is kind of brought it all back up. Yeah, there's a lot of folks. Head
It's
on
been
down
an
to the Brat Stop, and you'll see.
there are Chicago radio stations that do broadcasts from the Brat Stop, which part of it is just because people from Chicago love Wisconsin, but also
Well, that ownership group also has a station in Milwaukee, and they kind of do a combo unit. They do a
okay.
combo broadcast. I don't know if they go upstairs or they get out the Parkway Chateau in the back, but they do a combo broadcast. But enough about other radio stations, Pete.
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing here? No, but here's what I don't understand about the Bears. Like Green Bay, you have the best situation you could possibly have. The city owns the team. They never seem to have these. Like the Bears have been bullied by a park district for decades, and it's like you don't know the cards you hold. Like, how has it come to this? And now they threaten finally to go to Northwest Indiana. And frankly, Stuart, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Northwest Indiana is interesting in the way that Kenosha is interesting, not for a Bears home, but just because it's on the Great Lakes and Kenosha is in much better shape. But Northwest Indiana could be due for a redo, so to speak,
Right.
with climate change, people are coming to the Midwest, and the Bears could get in on the ground floor there. Was that weird if they're in Indiana?
I mean, the Bears would be closer to in Indiana, they would be closer to Chicago than the 49ers are to San Francisco right now.
Right.
So even the proximity isn't such a thing. And people in that area, again, you get to Chicago media market, you get the TV, you get the radio
Right.
from Chicago. So you're kind of in Chicagoland. I don't think that would be a problem. I think what
Yeah.
they're trying to do is obviously play Indiana off of Illinois. Ultimately, they want Illinois to come through on a bunch of tax dollars to pay for infrastructure. They don't want the state to pay for the actual stadium. Can you guys redo these roads for us? Could you fix up the train station? So
Yeah.
that's what they want from Illinois, and Illinois is playing hardball, as a lot of people think that they should. But Indiana came along and they're like, yeah, sure, we'll build you. You can have it. No taxes for a while.
How about that?
Sure. So that's kind of
crazy.
renewed the whole, it's leading to people in Arlington Heights calling down to Springfield and Illinois saying, hey, push this thing along. What are you guys doing? We're going to lose them.
Right.
And as somebody who kind of lives in the area, it may sound weird, but I'm kind of in Chicagoland here in Chicago. I'm all for that sort of thing in Arlington Heights because you're not so much for the Bears, but the Final Fours would be there.
Right.
You would get the biggest of the biggest WrestleMania events. You'd get the college football championships. I mean, any big major event that anywhere is getting, it would be 50 minutes from the state line.
It's interesting. It doesn't really affect me. I mean, I'm a Bears fan, but I'm a Wisconsin resident and I live far from Chicago, 4 hours, 3.5 hours, whatever. So it doesn't really affect me. But to me, you got that gorgeous lakefront, one of the most beautiful settings in the NFL.
Work something out.
Work something out. I
Let's
mean,
get something done.
It's just great ambassadorship for the city, and Chicago's a great town. I don't understand at all. But Illinois politics is a different situation altogether. It's like
and that's you couple that with the Bears ownership.
right.
You got a dangerous situation there.
right. Again, bullied by a park system, for decades.
Yeah, so you're a Bears fan, huh? I had no idea when I pitched talking about how the Bears still suck on your program. I'm sorry, Pete.
Well, listen,
Connie, why didn't you tell me?
Well, Conrad and I go back and forth. It's fun. To me, I've been living in Packer country. We moved from Chicago when I was a kid, and that's where I was scarred. I had people in my face. I was like, I didn't understand the rivalry till I moved to Wisconsin. And then I lived in Chicago a lot again. Now I've been back in Wisconsin for a long time. So I'm like, it's fun. I've had another guy, a friend of mine, who was a Packer fan living in Chicago, and I just think the rivalry is great, and I love it. So I hope we're still friends too.
We are still friends, of course,
Okay.
Pete. I'm not going to slam you down in the end zone and break your
Appreciate that.
collarbone or anything. No.
Conrad would, and he almost benches 300 pounds, so I got to watch out for that guy. Hey, we've got about a minute left, buddy. Are you watching anything you could recommend? Any binge watch, something
The
binge worthy?
Pete Schwaba show. That's what I'm watching right now. No, I'm
Just because you're on it?
No, football's great. Greatest show on TV. Best
Agreed.
drama going.
And you don't know how it's going to end. It's perfect. It's awesome drama. Totally agree.
Best show on TV.
Hey, always fun, pal. Thank you so
too.
much. And I promise next time you're here to bring up Gordon Lightfoot yet again.
Of course, we'll weaseling away. Just
All
like
right.
an old-time movie.
Stuart J. Waddles, folks. Follow him on social media, or listen to him here at Civic Media. He does an outstanding job. When we come back, it's Act 3. It's a Bar Band Friday night. Terry Barr will be here. We're going to read some of your texts. And I'm going to tell you about a catnapper. That'll be fun. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
If it happens in Wisconsin, you'll hear about it on the station with local news and timeless hits. 97.9 FM, WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. A federal investigation has been opened into Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, say sources, for allegedly obstructing federal law enforcement in the state. Walz this hour responding, quote, "The only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is a federal agent who shot her." Protests are expected to ramp up this weekend. The warning from Minnesota's Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson.
While peaceful expression is protected, any actions that harm people, destroy property, or jeopardize public safety will not be tolerated.
After meeting with President Trump, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado thanking the U.S. for its support and says Venezuela now faces a complex and delicate process to determine its future. A large new published study finding the strongest evidence to date that there's no link between pregnant women taking Tylenol and autism in their babies. This is ABC News. New Mexico lawmakers are taking on artificial intelligence.
Earlier this week, an Albuquerque man was arrested on charges of creating child pornography. That's already a felony, but in the future, the charges could be upgraded because of his method. New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres.
Our approach would enhance the sentence for committing those felonies if generative AI is used in connection with that felony.
In the same way that sentences are enhanced if a gun is used in the commission of a crime. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
YouTube is updating its guidelines for videos that contain material that may be considered controversial. YouTube saying videos that dramatize or cover issues like domestic abuse, suicide, sex abuse, and sexual harassment without graphic representations, descriptions, or imagery are now eligible for full monetization. An appliance distributor is expanding its recall of mini fridges to cover nearly 964,000 Frigidaire products after multiple fires. The recall notice says fridges have electrical components that could short circuit. Dave Packer, ABC News.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check that off. You've got this. Yes, you do. See how we've got you at yougotthis.usaging.org. A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy tonight, scattered snow showers, and a little breezy. Lows in the mid-teens. For tomorrow, more clouds, more flurries and snow showers. Highs in the mid-20s. And snow showers back again on Sunday and breezy again. Colder, highs mid-teens. Current temp is 30.
Let's talk rechargeable battery safety with tips from the National Fire Protection Association. Only buy products with a safety certification mark. Charge devices on hard surfaces. Don't use off-brand cords and always unplug when fully charged. Charge into fire safety at fpw.org/battery.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So do what you love and bring your talent to life. Your passion, your skills, your career. You belong here. Learn more at youbelonghere.media.
When a person calls 988, they're connected to a crisis counselor.
A caller can expect to talk about coping skills.
They can chat, they can text, and when they come out on the other side, they're feeling better.
Call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Listen, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Start building your
Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who gives edible undies as gifts just because they taste good, Pete Schwaba.
Pete, you got to unmute.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Nightlight. How was I muted? Some kind of conspiracy. I didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is Act 3 on a Friday night, folks. You've almost made it. Conrad and I have almost made it. We are almost at the weekend. Hope you're having a wonderful evening and had a great day. We've got lots to come here in this third hour. As you may or may not know, it is a bar band Friday night. Terry BARR, the person, the myth, the legend that the whole segment is named after, Bar Band Friday Night, Terry BARR, will be here at 7:20, a little earlier tonight because we have a couple other things to discuss with Terry. We're going to ask her about Beer and Cheese Fest, which happens this weekend in Madison. And then she will supply us with some groovy tunes that we will talk about as well. It's always fun to have our pal Terry on. And if you missed the previous couple of hours of the show, we had a great talk with Ellie Bordeaux. I love her, Conrad. She's so great. She's just fun to talk to. And she's like as upbeat and positive as Up North News is. Just a great demeanor. Always fun to talk to Ellie on the show. And then we talked to, I would say, a more, here's what I'll say about Stuart J. Waddles, a more curmudgeon-y version of Ellie Bordeaux. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
Equally as nice. Lots to bring to the table, but just not. No, Stuart's always fun. We talked to Stuart J. Waddles at the end of, or the second half of hour number 2. All of those are available in podcast form at civicmedia.us. If you're so inclined, or if you need something to listen to while you're pumping iron or taking a walk or whatever, take us with you. Terry BARR will be here at 7:20, and there are your guests for tonight. We've got some great texts tonight. Our question of the night, ladies and gentlemen, is, what was your first music purchase? It could be an album, an instrument, a concert you saw. What introduced you to the joy that is music? For me, it was my first album was Machine Head by Deep Purple. Conrad said his was, what was yours again?
Let It Rock by Kevin Rudolph and featuring Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Okay. Was Lil Wayne the guy a couple days ago that was ripping on Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
I thought
He's a
so.
very passionate Packer fan.
How did that happen? Does he have a tie to Green Bay or to Wisconsin?
Yeah, so I actually heard the story. He grew up in New Orleans, and he didn't have a team then, but his dad scored tickets to, the Packers when they were in New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And his dad brought a bunch of stuff back, like Green Bay, T-shirts and all that stuff. And that's when he started liking them.
Yeah, that works.
So he was a little kid, and he's always been a Packer fan. He's even brought him out of the tunnel, which is, I mean, that's awesome.
That is cool. Talk about a dream come true too for him. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. So, all right, but tell us, folks, you can still get in on the fun. What was your first music purchase? We will ask Terry Barr what hers was as well when she rolls in. Oh, wait a minute, I already know what it is, Con. Terry Barr, Super 1234 star, which she is, told us through the stream. She left a stream comment saying that the 45 record of Andy Gibb. What song was it though, Terry? We got to know the song. Love is thicker than water was one of his big hits. I remember. I think he dated Olivia Newton-John too. Remember, Andy Gibb was the Gibb brother that was not in the Bee Gees. And the Bee Gees rocked. They were fantastic. But let us know what yours is. I will read it on the radio. And we will keep this thing moving forward. Conrad, what I'm going to ask you. We've got we should remind people too. On Monday, we will have the day off. It's Martin Luther King Day. We're taking the day off, and I'm taking Tuesday off. I will be out of town. We return live on Wednesday night, and we've got great guests next week. It's going to be a really fun week of guests. We've got Irish author Molly. I hope I'm saying her name right. I'll have to learn this before she joins the show, obviously. Molly Aitken. She is a very well-accomplished author that will join us from Cork, Ireland. Excited about that. Rob Thomas will be here next Friday, a week from tonight, to break down the Oscar nominations, which come out next Thursday. So that will be exciting. Terry Barr will be here next Friday. And wonderfully, Wisconsin's Paul Vandenplas will be here on Wednesday. Comedian Chastity Washington follows Paul. And then Frank Anderson, our pal from Appleton, will be here talking about all things fun, wild, and weird Wisconsin. And Hannah Lopez from NBC in Green Bay, NBC 26. She covers Door County for NBC. She'll make the popcorn pick of the week. That's like a month's worth of guests. And we're doing.
I mean, that's you have to tune in.
Ridiculous. So that's exciting. So let's get some text out of the way. We got to play catch up here a little bit. Do you have access to the social media texts?
I do.
Okay. Why don't you read them and we'll comment?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Because I'm in a world. My whole world is in upheaval. I'm not used to doing the show from home. It's not fun, but it's warm. So.
All right. Well, Conrad Krieger says "Let It Rock" by Kevin Rudolph and Lil Wayne. Sorry. All right. So Sarah Jean Rosenberg says, "I don't think I can remember what I actually purchased first. As a kid growing up, we would always go to the rummage sales and flea markets. I'd always be buying some records. As an adult, I do the same thing."
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome.
Daniel Wheeler says, "The first vinyl record I can recall purchasing for my allowance money was The Police, Ghost in the Machine."
Oh, that's a great album.
And you put a little picture of it, too, if you want to look at that on Facebook.
I saw that,
page Nightlight.
And now I just found I was able to print some of them. So why don't we tag team this? And I'll say Mike Desital says, "I bought my first guitar at Team Electronics when I was 12 years old. It was $15, and I was only making a few dollars a week on my paper route. I had to put it on layaway. It took me about 2 months to get it. Looking back, it was barely more than pressed wood and baling wire. My parents got me lessons, but I never followed through like I should have. One of the greatest regrets of my life." I like people that can admit that they regret something, because I regret giving up the piano. And I was good. After 2 lessons, she said she had never seen a piano player like me, but I quit. John Scott, our pal here at Civic Media, says, "First LP, Michael Jackson, Ben." And he's laughing, but that's, if that's the time he grew up in, that was a big song. And Michael Jackson was the Jackson 5. Thank you, John. Amanda Nimmer, our WGBW pal and social media guru, says, "Avenged Sevenfold, City of Evil." All right, it's official. I don't know any music that Amanda mentions on this show. So everything Amanda contributes on the text line, I have to Google. So there you go. Bob Bro, our pal, who we were just talking about earlier, and an amazing opera singer who's been on the show before and is from Marinette, says, "Beatles Revolver with my grandma Bro at the infamous Underground Sunshine Shop in Menominee." Boy, that was before my time in Marinette, Menominee, Bob. It sounds kind of cool, though. Thank you, sir, for the text. Jenny Brand from Civic Media says, "No doubt, Tragic Kingdom That might take the cake for the best first music purchase. That's a pretty good one. Thank you, Jenny. And Trig Rude says Cream Disraeli Gears. I don't know that one. Unless the D is a typo. And it's Israeli Gears? What do you think, Con?
I'm not totally sure. But we do have a phone call right now.
We do?
Yeah, Ollie from the North Woods.
I was hoping we'd hear from Ollie from the North Woods. She's so much cooler than Ollie from the South Woods. Hello, Ollie.
Hi. And it's not even a food question.
You are welcome to comment on anything, my dear. You know that. But we love your food.
This one, I can't tell you the exact record, but I can tell you it was probably a 45. And the reason I know is because we had a great aunt who visited us when we lived in Pennsylvania, and we had gotten back from overseas, and she brought us a little 45 record player.
Oh,
and we thought we had the world by the tail. And I'm sure probably one of our first records would have been to buy Elvis Presley record, since our dad had let us play that in our house in overseas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How come? Was
So
it too
we had our own
risque
record
or?
player, so we could play what we wanted then.
Okay. What was it, Ollie? Was it his dance moves or something?
Oh, I don't know. It's been a long time ago.
That is outstanding. Thank you so much for the call, Ollie. Have a great night and a safe weekend.
You guys too. Bye-bye.
All right. Ollie from the North Woods. Love her. Jason Jerry on social media says, was the Star Trek soundtrack. How do you like that, Con?
Star Wars.
I'm sorry, Star Wars.
So much better than the Star Trek soundtrack. I mean,
that's true. I don't think John Williams did the Star Trek soundtrack. Tiff Burry says ABBA's greatest hits. That's another great one. Sean on social media says, frickin' Huey Lewis in the news 4 because my mom wouldn't let me get poisons. Look what the cat dragged in. I was going to put her in a home for that. I love how he starts it with frickin' Huey Lewis. That's a great one. Paula Krieger, Conrad's mom, ladies and gentlemen, checking in, says Styx Grand Illusion. That was another huge album. Everybody had that album. That's great, Paula. Her first concert was Huey Lewis and the News. I wonder if that was at Summerfest, Con.
maybe, yeah.
They played at Summerfest almost every year, it seemed like. So there you go. You can still get in on the fun, folks. What was your first music purchase? We are celebrating music today on a Bar Band Friday night. Terry Barr will be here in just a few minutes. And then, like I mentioned, next week we will be off Monday and Tuesday. We'll be back live on Wednesday with Wonderfully Wisconsin's Paul Vandenplas. Chastity Washington, the very funny comedian from Milwaukee, will be here. And then our pal Frank Anderson, founder of Wisconsinology.com. Frank is also a very accomplished director, producer, and musician. And he's going to give us a rundown of Joey's song, too. He's very involved with Joey's song and his buddies with Butch Vig and Mike Gamal and all those people. So it'll be fun to talk to Frank next week and get the lowdown. Hannah Lopez will be making the popcorn pick of the week. Molly Aitken, the author, and it's going to be fun, Con. You keep badmouthing next week. I think it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, just
Right?
next week. It's going to suck. You know.
Did you hear about this guy? I think I read this on Up North News. Don Gorski is his name. This is not really new news, but it's kind of new news to me. He's eaten 35,000 Big Macs. Have you ever heard of this guy?
That's a lot of Big Macs.
It's like, have you even been alive for 35,000 days? And here's the thing, like I looked him up online. He's not even like, you think a guy like that would be hugely obese. He's not. He's just kind of a normal guy. I mean, he's got bangs. I thought that was kind of strange, but he's eaten 35,000 Big Macs. And they made March 15th in Fond du Lac. Maybe Terry's heard of this because Terry's locked in on all things Wisconsin. Maybe she did a piece on it. I don't know, but Don Gorski, 35,000 Big Macs, and they made March 15th, Don Gorski Day in Fond du Lac last spring. That is insane. How do you not? Wouldn't you get sick of that?
That's what I was about to say. I don't know how you wouldn't get sick of that.
But we have this is one of the things I love about Wisconsin. Every state has their characters, but that's like, this guy seems like a great guy. And I was reading about him. I want to get this guy on the show too. He's a cat napper and he's in Green Bay. His name's Terry Lauerman. He takes naps with cats. He shows up at the shelter, pets him, brushes him, and takes naps with him like as a form of therapy. Isn't that cool?
That sounds like a great gig.
I can sense the sarcasm, Conrad, in your voice, and you know what? I've about had it. So we're going to go to break, and we're going to come back with Terry BARR. It's a Bar Band Friday night. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nightlight. Coming right back.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
If you are a cigar aficionado looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, you need to check out Appleton Cigar, which boasts the largest selection of cigars north of Milwaukee, with over 700 cigars to choose from, in a walk-in humidor with unique house-blended pipe tobacco, as well as the classic pipe flavors for a bit of nostalgia. The Cigar Lounge offers an impressive variety of spirits and cocktails that pair perfectly with a premium cigar. For the full experience, come to Appleton Cigar at 415 College Ave. For more information, go to appletoncigar.com.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit wiinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
Did you know that without bees, you wouldn't have coffee? It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411, here to let you know that an introduction to beekeeping course is on Saturday, January 17th from 8 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. thanks to the Brown County Beekeepers Association. And they're happy to present this introduction to beekeeping because we need the bees. Reserve your spot now if you've ever wanted to learn more about bees or how you can help save them, because we need them, by going to WGBW.FM and clicking events.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
My Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But early detection allowed us to take control of the situation together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Time to check out original music with Bar Band Friday on Nightlight. Now, your host, Pete Schwaba, and special guest, Terry BARR.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Bar Band Friday night here on Nightlight, and we are kicking it off a little early because Terry did not have plans. I'm kidding. I wanted to bring her on early because we have a lot to talk about, but we're going to get to the music as well. But she is the one of the co-hosts of Max Inc. Radio, which you can hear on WMDX every Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. And if you do not live in the Madison area, check it out on Spotify or at civicmedia.us. All the podcasts are there. It is an award-winning show. She is an award-winning host, as is Rocker, and she's our Wisconsin music expert. How are you tonight, Terry?
Hey, Pete. Hi, Conrad. Hey, all the listeners and the watchers. I'm okay. How about you guys?
Well, we're better than Katie Scullen. I mean, Conrad and I are both a little under the weather too, but not to the point where I would cancel a show or don't have a voice at all. Like, Kate, tell us what happened, like with where you were supposed to be tonight and why you're not there.
Well, and I had Rocker all lined up to join you because I was supposed to be hosting Katie Scullen's show. And what a lot of these musicians have started doing, which I think is so cool, this would be the third one I've done now, they have a question and answer period, just like a lot of when you do the films, and I know you've done that, the Q&A with the director or whatever. Well, this is your chance to ask the musician, and she was going to have her music video director there as well, asked questions. Why did you do it this way? What does this line in this song mean? Ooh, how did
Yeah.
you get that shot? We were all set to go, but oh, that poor girl, she said all week she was hoping she would feel better and better, but instead started feeling worse and worse. And it sounds like today she just totally lost her voice. So we are
That is
postponed.
terrible. Yeah.
Yes.
Any word when it'll be? I mean, I'm sure you just have to wait till she gets better, but do you have an idea?
Do not. In fact, she sent me a text earlier in the day saying, I am so sorry. I was just so excited to actually be able to see her and to hear this song
Yeah.
live from her. And she said, I really need to chill right now. And I get it. You know, that's a scary thing when you use your voice. That's where your
Right.
moneymaker is. And then you don't have
Absolutely.
one. Yikes.
Pardon me. Well, we'll have to have her back on the show. She's so much fun and she's so incredibly talented. I was excited to. I think at one point we discussed you calling from the event and how
Yes.
fun that would have been. So
Well, maybe
we'll
we
have
can make
to.
that all work with the
Yeah,
rescheduled show. I would love that very much.
for sure. Before we get into these two great artists that you've supplied us with yet
Yeah.
again, I want to ask you. You did a great piece on Beer and Cheese Fest. For if you want to read Terry's work, folks, go to civicmedia.us. She's very prolific, got great articles on there. There's one about Martin Luther King and his tie to Wisconsin and the Midwest. But let's start with Beer and Cheese Fest. Um, could there be a more Wisconsin event than that?
Not at all. No. And I understand, Pete, there are still some tickets left for the general admission,
Oh,
which is
nice.
tomorrow from 2 to 6. If you're a VIPer, and you really prefer that, it's too late. Those sold out
Okay.
right away, and that gets you in maybe an hour earlier, skip the line, the whole deal.
So the
But what
VIP, do you get like a better quality brat? You get a better bun maybe with
No, you
the.
get a nicer glass to drink
Okay.
out of. That's one of the
Well, that's
changes,
something.
and you get
Yeah.
in early to have more beer before everybody else gets in.
That's okay.
We've gone, I wanna say, to maybe half of these. It's always my husband's birthday weekend.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, we went in the really early days of this. This thing is now 16 years old, and it was so much fun talking to the brewmasters because they come in from all over the state. And now, as this has grown to be bigger and bigger and bigger, they're coming in from all over the Midwest, which that is super cool because then you can try
Yeah.
all kinds of beer from all over. But what's new is they're adding in things like kombucha and
Hmm.
CBD infused drinks. So you can try these without, say,
Wow.
buying a whole six pack or something, and then you get it home and you don't like it. So
Oh,
that's
that's
really fun.
interesting. I have to admit, I didn't know what it said. You had somewhere in the article a cheesemonger, and
Yeah.
that's like what I would have called a friend of mine in college or something who's just eating a lot of cheese. I don't know. I didn't know that was like an actual title. That's so great, but they're
It
experts.
and I think that's worthy. I would love to be called a cheese mom.
Right.
I love cheese too. That's the other thing, Pete. They have everything you can think of when it comes to cheese, cheese curds, every kind. And they want you to wear, if you've never done this and you're going to a beer festival, wear a pretzel necklace.
Mm.
Simple thing you do is just a string, put a bunch of pretzels on the string, and you're all set. You eat
Why?
that, it helps keep you going with the beer. Yeah.
Oh,
Don't tell me you've never heard of that.
I have not, but I'm always in awe that Wisconsin will find ways to. Now, listen, you're going to want to keep drinking, so you're going to want to do this to help yourself
Yeah.
along.
They
That's
have
so great.
added a lot more food to
Okay.
Beer and Cheese Festival from when we first started going. And of course, it's happening at the exhibition hall by the Alliant Energy Center. It's a large space. So, compared probably to 16 years ago, there's so much more. There's also music, live
Okay.
music. And DJ Shatsky is going to be there playing polkas off and on between the live musicians.
Oh, that's so. What a fun time. Are you
It's
going to
a
go?
party.
Are you going?
We are not this year. We
Okay.
actually have other things that we had already agreed to do.
All
But
right.
writing this story made me remember how much fun it is. And I think I want to get back there next year.
That's fantastic. We are going to break for news, and we come back. It'll be our typical bar band Friday night. Terry's got some great music. 608 says Abracadabra by the Steve Miller Band. I was 7. Great one. Richard from Waukesha says I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles. Another outstanding one. You can't go wrong with a Beatles purchase. Marilyn from the 920 says 45 was a 45 Downtown by Petula Clark. Remember that one, Terry?
Wow.
That's great. All right, we are coming right back after news for Bar Band Friday night, and we're going to read some more of your texts, and we are going to close this thing out in style, folks. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. A federal investigation has been opened into Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, say sources, for allegedly obstructing federal law enforcement in the state. Walz this hour responding, quote, the only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is a federal agent who shot her. Protests are expected to ramp up this weekend. The warning from Minnesota's Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson.
While peaceful expression is protected, any actions that harm people, destroy property, or jeopardize public safety will not be tolerated.
After meeting with President Trump, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado thanking the U.S. for its support and says Venezuela now faces a complex and delicate process to determine its future. A large new published study finding the strongest evidence to date that there's no link between pregnant women taking Tylenol and autism in their babies. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy tonight, scattered snow showers, and a little breezy. Lows in the mid-teens. For tomorrow, more clouds, more flurries and snow showers. Highs in the mid-20s. And snow showers back again on Sunday and breezy again. Colder, highs mid-teens. Current temp is 30.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
I'm Angela Bassett. For 33 million Americans, one bite can cause a life-threatening reaction. Now, there's a needle-free option for epinephrine. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
We've all felt left out.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day.
Welcome back.
It will brighten all.
It is an extended version of Bar Band Friday Night tonight. Our pal Terry Barr joined us a few minutes early. Just putting a bow on some of these texts. Our question of the night was, what was your first music purchase? 920. That is, I believe, Sarah in Green Bay. Says, first cassette, New Kids on the Block, first CDs. I joined the Columbia Music mail order club. Also didn't realize I had to pay. Isn't that great? I joined that too.
Me too.
And I think they sent a collection agency after me when I was like 12. And I'm sure, she also said she got Tom Petty, U2, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Bob Marley. Sarah, you used your penny well. Outstanding work there. And then we got Matt from Eau Claire in the 715 says, come on, Pete, purple. Oh, all right. So Terry, tell me what you think of this. Matt said 1984 was the best year for music, like ever. A bold statement. Maybe it's true. I don't know. It's all relative anyway, but he says, come on, Pete, Purple Rain, Van Halen, 1984, Like a Virgin, Born in the USA, my guy, Ride the Lightning, Learning to Crawl, Heartbeat City, Private Dancer, Make It Big, The Smiths, Unforgettable Fire, Let It Be, Stop Making Sense, Power Slave, Stay Hungry, Run DMC, Fat Boys, I believe Thriller, and Back in Black were only out a couple months, and the list goes on. Footloose soundtrack was 84 as well. Damn, bro, if you're going to po on me on the air, offer an alternative. Oh, Matt, what am I, a Rolodex here? I was trying to think in my head, like 84, what is the great music? But
oh my gosh,
he obviously has the Encyclopedia Britannica with him. But you are right, Matt. These are great. He says, I listen to learn. I am curious about your thoughts. Text me off air if possible. I am shamed enough. Matt, come on. That was not meant to shame. I was just saying, like Terry, offhand, what would you say is the best era for music?
Oh,
everybody's got a claim, I think.
Because I love old country.
Oh, right.
I know you just talked to the Wisco dive bars guy.
Yeah.
And I just think about being in a dive bar and listening to good old country, everything. What did they always say? If you play the record backwards, you get your wife back, you get your car back.
Right. I would say maybe that I don't disagree with Matt. Like I didn't have all this right at the front of my head, but that was my era. So this is like my soundtrack of my teenage years.
That was a good list too. Wow.
Yeah, it was a great list. So anyway, all right, Terry Barr is here, folks. It is Bar Band Friday night, and we've got some new music that could make a list one day, like the list that Matt just put together.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be fantastic, and we would owe it all to Terry Barr. So,
well, no, all of us for listening and cheering on these Wisconsin-based musicians.
Absolutely. And that's part of the reason I love that you drop by every Friday, because you typically always have great local musicians. So who should we start with, Terry, tonight?
Again, two very different bands. Yeah. One includes a father and son. The other is a band that started playing together when they were all 11 years old. So
what? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, let's start with the 11-year-olds.
Okay.
Let's do that.
This is Take Back the Sun. They were 11 in 2019. So I'll let you do the math.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I don't have to do math. Yikes.
They're not 20 yet. I know that.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Right.
Yes. So when they do play at bars, they still have to be taken by parents.
Okay.
They're all around the Fort Atkinson area. And yeah, can you believe they just kind of found each other randomly through a studio in Janesville where they were all taking lessons? And they got together because the people teaching the lessons were like, you guys should all play in a band together. This could really work. 11 years old.
Yeah.
They put out their first full-length album last year. They competed in Rockonson, which is
Love
a
it.
garage band competition, and it pits bands from all across the state with each other. And the top 3 winners get to play at Summerfest. They played at Summerfest last year, which that's got to be amazing as a
Oh
kid,
my gosh.
or for
Absolutely.
anybody, really. Ugh.
But you're right, especially a teenager, though.
Oh my gosh, you think of yourself sitting out there watching, and now you're the one that's up there playing for people watching you.
Right.
And now they're working on a brand new album, but we got one of the first singles off of it, and it's called Dummy. And this band is so proud because they wrote all the songs and the music, and they produced it all on their own. Nobody's
Wow.
help. Mhm.
That is fantastic.
Isn't it fun? Yeah.
This is a really long song, Terry. Is there like a 9-minute guitar solo in the middle of it? Or should we just like,
The guitar solos seem to be making a comeback.
are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
great.
think I've played quite a few new songs for you recently. Maybe not a very long guitar solo, but a little
Right.
guitar solo in there.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens. This is
Okay.
pardon me, Take Back the Sun and Dummy, compliments of Terry Barr. That was intense.
Yeah, they've gotten heavier over
That's
time.
a big sound for, like you don't think of teenagers as having the weight of the world on their shoulders. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like, that's a big sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17 years old now. So,
Wow.
yeah, they've got a lot of future ahead of them. And I'm so curious to see what happens. I hope they can hold it together because,
Yeah.
school ends and what happens sometimes. So
Exactly. You
I
go
wish
off to
them the
college
best.
or something. Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
had them on Max Inc? Have they been on your
We
show?
did last year when they were in the
Okay.
middle of Rock-onson, that competition,
Oh,
and
right.
Summerfest, but they were not as heavy as this song.
Okay.
So it's interesting.
Wow. I got to
Yeah.
get Dennis back on the show. He was on with both of us, I think last
Yeah,
summer from
Dennis
Rock-onson.
Graham, he is
So
terrific.
great.
Loves the kids. He takes such good care of them when they compete in Rock-onson.
I believe that.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. So Terry, before we move on to Power Takeoff, which
Yeah.
sounds awesome as well, I have to ask you, you answered the question of the night, your favorite or your first music purchase, Andy Gibb, but what song was it?
I just wanna be your everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He had talk about it's so crazy when there's a brother that's like the odd man out and the
I
BGs were
know.
wildly successful, and then he goes and has this great career too. He has some great songs.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I had a pen pal back then. We would write to each other about the top radio songs.
No way. Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was like our top 10 list
Oh,
of
that's
what
so
we were
cool.
listening to. We were in totally different areas, and so that was fun, but Andy Gibb was always kind of at the top of our list.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So all right, tell us about Power Takeoff. Then we'll probably break and we'll come back and play the song. But Power
Okay.
Takeoff is your second band and another great choice here.
They also formed in 2019, so I don't know what
Oh,
it was
wow.
about 2019, but musicians are getting together, and
Right.
again, both of these staying together over time. Their name, Power Takeoff, is based on the father and son who are basically the leaders of the band. The
Okay.
dad is the lead singer, and son Aiden is the drummer, and if you read what they talk about this band, Scott, the dad says, he actually has a long-term relationship with his Case IH tractor.
Huh.
Or Takeoff. Yeah. He grew up on a family farm and was still farming until recently. They still live on the farm, but now they're just doing crops right outside of Madison. But I
Oh, wow.
love the tie-in between the dad and the son and Power Takeoff and a farm and a tractor.
Yeah.
There
So
you
I
go.
looked them up. I thought they were in Nashville. They're right from outside of Madison, though?
They are outside of Madison, but
okay.
they were
Hey, hold that
just
thought.
in Nashville.
Hold that
Yes.
thought. We're going to lose our space here. We're coming right back. It's Bar Band Friday night. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. We'll be right back. Sorry about that, Terry. I lost track of time.
Big deals.
WGBW has some big news. Introducing the brand new Green Bay Big Deals. You can save at least 30% on gift certificates from your favorite local businesses and keep your money right here in our community. Craving lunch? Planning a night out? Looking for the perfect gift or a little treat for yourself? Green Bay Big Deals has exactly what you want. Go to WGBW.FM right now. Click the Big Deals banner and stretch your dollars further with Green Bay Big Deals.
Sturgeon Spirits of Oshkosh. Next door to their cocktail bar and tasting room on Oregon Street is the Ready Room, open for your next event. A private bar with aviation-inspired detail. It's ideal for intimate parties, conferences, or special occasion parties and reunions. Sturgeon Spirits, 2663 Oregon Street in Oshkosh, and at grocery and liquor stores throughout the Fox Valley. Wherever you go, buy local, drink local, and take a piece of Oshkosh with you. SturgeonSpirits.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1.
Pete, you got on mute.
I thought you muted it. Conrad's messing with me all night, Terry, and I don't like it.
Con.
Sorry.
I think it's funny.
He's just had enough of me. Welcome back to Nightlight, folks. We're in the home stretch here of another fun week with our pal Terry BARR, who is typically always here to help us close things down every week with great music and great conversation. We were talking, Terry, about Power Takeoff and their song Revolution. Should we hear that now? Revolution?
Yeah, you mentioned Nashville, so I just want to tell you really quick. They're working on a new EP, and that's why they were in Nashville at a studio owned by Peter Keys. Peter Keys happens to be in Leonard Skinner.
I saw that. That's
messing
crazy.
around. They're going with the big guy.
That's fantastic. All right, so here is the song Revolution. This is by the second band Terry is featuring tonight. Power Takeoff, just outside of Madison.
Into hurt and pain, but I feel the way I do. But what is it to you? And everyone's got something to say. I'm old and washed up anyway, but what is it to you? These words I say are true. You can't take my bright blue skies away. Stick it where the sun don't shine, the day is calling. We see the revolution. We need your sweet emotion. Heroes work on bleeding hearts. Superman, where do we start? Yet there's no one to blame, 'cause everyone's insane. And talk is cheap and the words you say, but I don't care for them anyway. But what's up a boy to do. And I will show my better side, bite my lip, never run and hide, but that is who I am, and I try to give a damn. You can't take my bright blue skies away. Stick it where the sun don't shine, the day is calling. We see the revolution. We need your sweet emotion. We see the revolution. We need your sweet emotion.
Nice work, Terry. As always,
Yeah.
you crushed it. That's a fun song. I saw even your cat was kind of moving the head. I saw the ears right, right there.
They like music as much as we all do.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you for that. And thank you also. I want to tell everyone who's listening, Terry wrote a great piece on Martin Luther King and his connection to the Midwest and Wisconsin. Definitely check that out on civicmedia.us. Terry, have a great weekend and enjoy your kind of your night off. I'm sorry it happened that way.
Oh,
but,
no, this is always a blast to be here with you guys, and
Yeah.
I hope both of you feel better, and everyone
Likewise.
else have a great weekend too.
We're getting there. All right. Thank you so much, Terry. We'll talk to you soon. That's Terry BARR. She does so much here at Civic Media, folks. Check out all of her articles at civicmedia.us. We've got Matt from Eau Claire Con. Did you see this? Matt is coming out guns blazing. He says, why not me? My kind of country. It's all in the game. Don't make it easy for me. Country boy, playing dirt fashion, major moves, and 2 albums by the great George Strait. Does Fort Worth ever cross your mind, and right or wrong, if you all want to start a country list? I don't know. Like, listen, I defer to Matt. He's shown his musical knowledge here tonight, especially crossing genres. That's impressive, Matt. Well done. I don't want to start a country list. I just defer to you. Thank you, sir. Dave says in the 608, I definitely fell for the Guitar Rock subscription. Looking back now, it was far out, man. It was fun to get them in the mail and listen. Totally agree. Pardon me, I'm falling apart here at the end of the show. Also, Matt says, I did have to look stuff up. Just knew it was a great year. Awesome stuff. Thank you for all your calls and texts. And everybody, have a great weekend. And have a great Martin Luther King Day. This is Pete Schwaba on behalf of the lovable producer Conrad saying good night, Wisconsin.
Deserve being mistreated.